All right, it's Kyle T. Mosley of Black Sports Insiders, as well as HBCU Legends. I'm here with my son, Kyle Anthony. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm all right. It's Kyle T. Mosley here.
It's
Yo, what's
Kyle
good,
T.
guys? How are
Mosley.
y'all doing?
Yes. All
let me
right.
do let me do it my way. Hold on. Hello, this is Kyle Anthony Mosley here with HBCU Legends Sports Culture Reporter, coming to you live from my bedroom. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing?
I like
Let's
that,
my
man. You
light
sound
and
like
trying to be
James
funny.
Earl Jones, man.
Well, I am a trained actor.
You are a trained actor. Yes, you are. That
Yes,
is
sir.
true. All right.
Right.
So, guys, we want to bring something different to you. We're going to talk a little bit about the world of international sports. We're going to call it iSports. And talking about sports, we're going to give you guys a glimpse at F1, NASCAR. I don't know. Kyle loves soccer, and we can talk about some cricket as well. But we're going to just
Uh,
give you.
well, I don't know too much about cricket, but
I just
I'll entertain the conversation. I promise.
okay, but seriously, this past weekend, Bubba Wallace. He became the first
Congratulations.
black driver in NASCAR history, as well as history at the Indianapolis Speedway, to be able to win in the oval. But he wasn't the first black driver to win at International Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That is left up to Lewis Hamilton, where he won on F1. And but think about that: two black drivers winning at the Indianapolis Brickyard, the famous Indianapolis Brickyard, and Bubba Wallace won the Brickyard 400, and he also gained entry into the playoffs. Kyle, what do you make of this? And as a young guy who loves speed and love to be in those cars, what are your thoughts?
Well, off rip, that's fantastic for Bubba Wallace. What an incredible accomplishment for him. Winning a NASCAR race is no easy feat because, yes, from the European point of view, if you're a Formula One watcher, you'll be like, y'all just driving in circles for like 2.5 hours. Yeah, but it's some of the most competitive circle driving you've ever seen. You don't understand. They're going
At
so fast.
200, what
Any
they average,
slight
what,
turn,
220, something like that.
you can spin out. So I'm just saying
Yeah,
it's way harder than what it looks like. You know what I mean? It's way harder. So that's proved by the fact that he hasn't won in a really long time for
right.
being, if you consider yourself competitive at the top of your sport, it's like, man, I need to win. So for him to win and also to win at an historic event, yes, this is amazing. But we are met with some hate here. And people, a lot of NASCAR fans will say, well, fans just don't like Bubba Wallace because he's annoying or he complains quite a bit, because he is known for complaining on the radio. But in my opinion, from what I've listened to, just as much as pretty much every other driver does in NASCAR. So if there's an underlying reason why we don't like Bubba Wallace, I'd like to know why, because this is a great accomplishment. And I don't see any reason for there are a lot of people looking down on this and saying, well, it was rigged. A lot of things happened. In reality, this was technically one of his best drives in his career. Managed his fuel and managed his tires all the way to the end of the race.
Yeah,
True, this was a race of strategy and attrition, if anything, rather than anything being handed to him. So there is nothing rigged about this. Bubba Wallace won this on his own and did a great job with it. Truly, what an accomplishment for him.
yeah. Look, and Kyle, like you said, he had not won a race in a long, long time since 2018 when he was second place in Daytona 500. Then his next finish in second place, he was at Daytona 500 as well. But he hasn't won since I believe it was 2021.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the Yellowwood 500.
that's 4 years of working and trying your best to get to the back to winning ways and falling short. And then when you do, you're met with a lot of fans saying that it was a rigged race, and that's really upsetting. That's really upsetting because there's no replay of that where you can be like, yeah, this was rigged.
Yeah. Um, I think one thing he said to his distractors and detractors is that it doesn't matter. I am already winning at life. I got the best wife, the best kid. People always are going to say something. I'm excited to see how far the goalposts are moved. So I get to go and chase that now. So many days since my last win. How many? Zero. Zero. Yeah, that's right. Zero. He
You
made
know
me
what? That's right.
that.
I like that. That's his statement is really powerful, especially at the end because how many? If you've watched the F1 movie, and or if you've even seen the trailer, you know there's a line where Brad Pitt's character says to Damson Idris's character, "How many F1 races have you won?" And he's like, I haven't exactly." So, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
if you're not even a competitive racer, any opinion you truly have on Bubba Wallace, and if you're not a journalist covering NASCAR and you have that information like that consistently, your opinion is your opinion to keep, but you cannot. I hope you don't think that that's going to put a dent on Bubba Wallace's spirit because he's sold y'all. What
Yeah.
have y'all won?
Yeah, it was great to see because I know a lot of people have been questioning him. I know last year, Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin, who are the co-owners of the 2311 team, they wanted to, you know, they want to see wins. Let's just be honest. They're owners of these cars and have Bubba Wallace as one of their premier drivers. They wanted to see him to win. And I know Bubba wanted to see himself to win. He had a series of did not finish. I think it was four straight races, and now to be able to put this monkey and get it off his back, it means a lot to him. So congratulations to Bubba.
No, truly. We watch everybody watch Talladega Nights at some point, so you can't help but feel great watching somebody win a NASCAR race when you because even in the movie they let you know it's not easy. So you got
It's
to be
not easy.
happy for anybody to win one, especially when you're making history and doing so.
If you
What
ain't
else can you
first,
do?
you're last.
Exactly. If you're not first, you're last.
All right,
If you're
and
second,
guys,
you lost.
exactly. And don't forget, Rajah Caruth, he earlier this year he had a victory NASCAR truck series playoffs. He's getting his field there. So, and who's his girlfriend?
I think he's. Oh, I
Masa.
don't. Oh, I really didn't know who his girlfriend. I was
Yeah,
like,
Masa
I
and
think
Martin.
that's awesome for
That's his
him.
girlfriend, man. So,
Congratulations. And
and Wonder
she's doing her event. On the 29th.
29th, right?
Yeah,
At Texas
that
Southern.
yeah, going through Labor Day weekend.
What's the name of the event?
Size Summer Cookout.
Size Summer Cookout. And she's been doing that across the nation, guys. And it's been getting quite the following. And it's going to be great for Texas Southern people to be able to host that as well, especially with Labor Day weekend going against Prairie View at Shell Energy Stadium. And if you guys didn't know, Rajah Caruth is a HBCU. He's an alum of Winston-Salem State University. All right. Kyle, what's been happening on the F1 series?
Well, last weekend we had the Belgium Grand Prix, so that was at Spa in Belgium, of course. And it was a wet race going into it. So we went for about 2 laps, and then we had a safety car because there's the FIA they were worried about conditions and safe driving, didn't want incidents, and that's understandable because especially after there has been a loss of life at Spa before, and
Oh,
we
really?
honor
Wow.
yeah we honor Jules his passing every time we come to Spa. Jules passed away. I believe he was in Formula 2 at the time,
Okay.
and he had a deadly crash. But so safety precautions at Spa are often, we look at them through a lens of ultra safety following that. But this race, a lot of fans could say it was very boring because of that. So after the race, not after, but after that safety car, things just felt very predictable because we did take a long break for the rain, and then once we did get back to racing, we didn't have a lot of overtaking, so a lot of fans might not have felt like there was the same the best way to say it. They didn't feel that it was as entertaining as some races have been. But the conversation does go that way for a lot of Formula One right now. Across the board, there is the idea that sometimes the races just aren't being as entertaining as they were before. Even though, yes, we love open wheel racing, we love the cars. That's what we're here for. But entertainment is also a factor because it's starting to feel at we're leaning towards the money a lot. The spectacle is no longer being the spectacle because of how grand it was on its own and exclusive. F1 is known as an exclusive sport because it is hard to get into. It's very difficult. And you pair that with it being European, a lot of Americans are like, wow, that's extremely exclusive because we're not just going to fly to Europe to get our child started
Right.
into Formula One. And you have to start at the karting level. So if you're a child, of course. So there's a lot of money that you're putting into it and it feels exclusive, right? But now we're in this realm of exclusivity doesn't feel the same as it used to, right? The the how do I say this? It doesn't feel it just doesn't feel the same. Monaco doesn't have the glitz and glamour that it used to in the sense of wow, these are all the stars in the world. Yes, these are all the stars in the world, but we also saw a lot of them at Miami. We also saw them
Okay.
at Vegas. You see what I'm saying?
So who are the stars, Kyle? I mean, let people know who are the people
Oh,
that you should
you're saying
be
the stars of
looking.
F1? Like,
Yes,
or you
stars
mean,
of F1.
okay. Well, right now, my personal, my GOAT honestly is Lewis Hamilton. He's my GOAT. He's not
Yes.
my favorite driver, though.
No.
Okay, hold on. Some would say recency bias, but I disagree. I'm just a big Max Verstappen fan. His presence
Verstappen is
whilst
Max
he's driving is
Verstappen.
insane. I mean, I love him, man. On the Sundays going
He's a
do.
bad man.
Max
Max is a bad
Verstappen.
man. He's a man.
Max's
He's bad.
2023 will never be forgotten. It was just insane consistency. I think at Spa that year he had like a 30-second gap after like lap 20. It was just insane. And I think that was without a pit stop from anybody else. He's just that the car paired with him in 2023 were just so competitive, you did not know what you were watching a lot of the time. But if we're
Really?
looking at but if we're looking at real stars right now, I mean Max Verstappen, George Russell, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, uh, you know, let's see. I would even say Gasly he is a star in the right of yes, he's popular in the Formula One world. But if I'm just going general stars who's branching out, I would say Lewis Hamilton is definitely the biggest star in Formula One right now, and will continue to be so until he retires. He just
Okay.
has that level of appeal. He's got a lot of charisma, and he's producing things outside of Formula One. So it makes people look at him differently.
Right. And I saw there was some controversy with Lewis Hamilton just recently about someone asked the question why rivals of his are so negative against him. And he had a cryptic post about whatever. So we're just going to leave that gossip where it is. But let's look at these drivers. You got Oscar Piastri, the McLaren driver. He's in number one standing. Then you have Lando Norris. Then you have Max Verstappen. How did they get like this? Max is not number one.
Well,
What happened, Kyle?
we're in a very different spot right now. In terms of development wise, Red Bull team principal was fired a few weekends ago. And then,
Oh,
the car isn't the same this year. We don't have Adrian Newey in our aerodynamic department. He's now with Aston Martin. But the thing is, Aston Martin is also not performing well. So it's like, dang, if we could have Adrian Newey back, that would be fantastic. Because the car just has a lot of issues this year. There's a lot of complaints over at the Red Bull side with the car. But then on the McLaren side of things, they're just having a fantastic year. They haven't
Okay.
slipped up once. They've just been in a great position. I mean, there hasn't been much to go wrong for them going throughout this season. They've had minor issues, and when they were minor, they were so minor, it was during that race, and you didn't even, next thing you knew, they were back in the lead. So when you have Max, who is truly, in most people's eyes, the current best open wheel driver in the world, the reason he is behind, I can't say it's actually due to the fact that he hasn't been driving well. It's,
Okay.
car truly hasn't been there.
Hasn't been
He,
producing.
he's been putting in the work. McLaren are just leaps and bounds above the competition this year,
Okay.
which is great with it being the 75th anniversary and them being a historic team. It's great for them.
Okay. Then you have George Russell, Leclerc, then Hamilton at number 6, Antonelli, and then Albon at 8, Huckelberg 9, Ocon at 10. All right, guys, that's from the F1 website and Formula1.com website, I should say. But you look at those guys, Kyle, and what are your thoughts?
Honestly, this will shape out pretty evenly to what you're seeing right now. That's how I believe this is all going to shape out. Because Max himself, he will probably hover around that 3 and 2 position and probably jostle for position there with Lando, only due to the fact that Oscar is very locked in his driving style. He doesn't slip up. He rarely makes mistakes, but when he does, they do mess him up, and they're usually in qualifying rather than in actual race time. So
Okay.
this isn't something you would even notice on race day. Now, Lando and Max are friends. They're really close friends. So Lando will be like after a race, they're like, "Where you headed?" Oh, about to go get in the jet with Max. Like, that's so funny because they've grown up together as well. And a lot of these guys have. They've all driven the same circuits together and grown up in going from F1, going through F4 to F3 to F2 and now to F1. They've built relationships and they've built a rapport. So what we're seeing with a lot of the guys on the grid now is they don't even crash the way that we used to see crashes happen because even though of course there's a respect before, there's even more of a respect with a lot of these guys, especially with some of them having raced on the same teams with each other and then going to another team later, maybe after 3 or 4 years. So
Okay. Okay. Well, that's they know each
yeah,
other well. So good. All right. Let's turn our attention right now to the top racers in NASCAR, especially going into the playoffs. Denny Hamlin is at number 1, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Kyle Lawson, who came in second to Bubba Wallace this past weekend, Chase Briscoe, Ty Gibbs, Chris Buescher, and Christopher Bell, and Mr. Priest, and then Bubba Wallace at number 10. This is from SI.com. Let's see, my man over here. Oh, they had 3 guys. They had Zach, they had Joseph, as well as Toby, all doing these, their top 36 Cup drivers that are going to be a part of the playoff chase. All right. Kyle, any thoughts going into this weekend? What to expect in Formula One?
we're going to be in Hungary this coming weekend. The Hungaroring is known as being a hard track. It sounds like I was okay. I do want everybody to know, if you don't know the name, it is called the Hungaroring. It so
The
it does sound like
Hungara
I was
Ring?
just mispronouncing Hungary after
The
trying to say it a second
Hungara
time.
Ring.
The race is in Hungary. It will be at the
Okay.
Hungaroring, and it's a tough track, really technical. So McLaren, I think they'll be doing pretty good this race. That's the big thing for the Red Bull car. It isn't that on a more technical track, it does have more struggles than the McLaren does, while the Red Bull has great straight line speed.
Okay.
So I mean, we'll see going into the weekend how everybody set up their cars. So we'll see at FP1.
Okay. It's the Formula One Lenovo Hungarian Grand Prix 2025. The schedule they're going to have in on August 1st to practice 1, 2, and 3. Then on the 2nd, the qualifying. Then they're going to have the race itself on the 3rd, and that's on Sunday, right? So that should be pretty interesting. And guys, if you love F1, you love racing, you got to keep your eyes out what's going to happen there. Kyle, you usually follow everything online. Where do you get to see the updates and some of the races yourself?
Well, everything can be found now, thankfully. If you're streaming and you have ESPN, you can stream through ESPN and watch the races live, free practice, qualifying, everything. Before, you used to just have to do it through Formula One themselves. They have F1 TV, so it's a monthly subscription of $14.99, I believe. So if you want to do that, that's great because you get driver cams, all that. But you also get the same thing if you have ESPN Plus. So keep that in mind before you go purchase something you don't need to. If you already have one service, don't want you to have to buy too many streaming services if you don't have to, guys. But yeah, you can just download the app, download the Formula One app if you want to as well, so that way you can know what time the races are, because they are in Europe. So keep in mind they are qualifying, and practice can sometimes be at like 8 o'clock in the morning. So just look for things like that.
Okay,
but yeah,
excellent.
just go through F1 themselves. They have all the information there.
Awesome. All right. That's Kyle Anthony Mosley, our resident expert on everything racing, F1, as well as NASCAR. Guys, also soccer. Any major matches coming up with soccer, Kyle?
We're not having any true major matches coming up right now. Right now we're in preseason, so we're going to see a lot of teams trying to gel a lot of their new guys and a lot of new signings. If we're looking from a real international standpoint, European football, a lot of eyes are on Barcelona. We're seeing how Lamine Yamal is going to be looking going into next season. He's donning the number 10. No, last guy to wear the number 10 at Barcelona was Ansu Fati, and before him it was Messi. So lineage to follow. Last guy didn't pan out. You're a new wonder kid. You don't want to put too much pressure on your shoulders, but let's see how you do. The thing is, though, Madrid are coming back strong, so we're looking forward to the El Clásicos we'll see in this upcoming La Liga season. But then with the Premier League, Man City isn't looking strong like they used to. Not at all.
Really?
There's been some shifts there. But Chelsea, my club, we just won the Club World Cup 3-0 on PSG, who were supposed to mop the floor with us. But I believed in our press from Cucurella and Moise Caicedo. I believed in it. And now look at us. Look at Cole Palmer. Look at João Pedro. I'm just saying, we have a lot of squads who have made a lot of development. Liverpool, who won the Premier League last season, they've been saving money because what are these signings? They spent almost 300 mil in signings just in this transfer window, and that was on like 3 to 4 players. And they're still looking to spend. So is Chelsea. So what I'm liking is that my club, Chelsea, once again, top players are wanting to come here. Xavi Simons, Jorel Hato, they're wanting to come here, and they want to win because they've seen a winning nature come from this team. I want everyone to keep in mind, this was technically the end of the first year of Enzo Maresca ball. This was the end of year.
What is that?
Enzo Maresca he's our new coach. So I want everybody to know that's 1 year of Maresca ball. And you can see the results that were yielded. 2 trophies, Conference League, Club World Cup, Champions League next year, Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. These are all things that we have our sights on, and they are achievable. They are very achievable. In the Club World Cup, we were able to see a Chelsea squad that was very strong and is going to evolve. So internationally, soccer's getting really exciting for this upcoming season. It's getting spicy. Players are moving around again. I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. It feels like FIFA, like playing on your PlayStation in real life, seeing these player transfers. I'm loving it.
All right. So we just got this in today. The 2026 FIFA World Cup group stage draw dates and the locations have been revealed, Kyle. Da, 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 da. So this comes from Sports Illustrated, Roberto Casillas. And let's see what we're looking at. Okay, well, let's look at it like this. FIFA.
It's going to be in Vegas?
DC, Vegas is one. DC is another. And you're going to have sites in US, Canada, and Mexico, which all are co-hosting some of the biggest competitions. So the world's group stage is going to have 3 groups. 12 groups, I'm sorry, guys, and 4 countries drawn. Okay, 13 nations already have been booked their spot in the World Cup. 35 outstanding nations have to be able to qualify, right? So Las Vegas has already hosted the draw for 1994. Can they do it again? We shall see.
I mean, I think they probably will, for reasons of staying away from political things after how things went at the Club World Cup. So I think they'll probably have it in Vegas, but it could also be in DC for the said reasons, the aforementioned reasons I just gave. It could also be in DC for the very same. I will say though, keep in mind the USA, Mexico, and Canada are automatically qualified for this competition, but we have not seen the United States men's national team at their strongest. They haven't used their strongest lineups at all recently. We saw that in the Gold Cup, which Mexico just won, and Canada were eliminated from. So I want everybody to have an open head going into next year. Let's see how our guys do on the international stage at their club levels before we, make any hard opinions on the United States men's national team going into the World Cup.
Okay, excellent. All right, guys, you can find some more information about the soccer matches as well as some of the players from the Premier League, La Liga, and some of our featured articles that are on SI.com with our colleagues over there. All right, Kyle, tell everybody how they can be able to find you on the World Wide Web.
Yeah, y'all can find me on Instagram at Kyle Anthony Mosley. I can be found on TikTok at Kyle A. Mosley. Then you can find me on Twitter, formerly known as, X, formerly known as Twitter. You can find me there at Mosley Kyle A. So those are my platforms.
Okay, and I'm Kyle Trevor Mosley. You can find me at KTMOZE on X as well as the other social media platforms, as well as you can go to HBCU Legends on all the social media platforms as well. All right, Kyle, thank you very much for indoctrinating and educating us on international sports. This is our very first podcast on iSports, and we're going to do this a little bit more. So you guys, if you love to be able to talk some international sports and you love soccer, you love F1, you love NASCAR, you love whatever, and he says he's not going to do cricket. So, but anyway,
if y'all like cricket, y'all need to put it in the chat so I can do some research on it. If that's what y'all want to hear about, y'all need to notify me, or what, better yet, I'll look it up already. So next time we do this podcast, I'll talk about cricket for all about a minute and a half, and then if y'all want to hear more, you better comment that you want to hear that. But for real, let us know everything you guys want to hear, because this is open. This is here for the people. We want to give you information about things that you want to hear about, as well as what we want to talk about. So this is a relationship. It's vice versa. So just let us know. Let us know.
Definitely. All right. You guys have a great one. We will be back next week.